There's been a lot of talk going on in the athletic world that athletes should be paid for their name. I don't agree. I don't agree that athletes should be paid for their name. I don't agree due to the fact of taxes, amateurism, and it's college. I want to make clear though that I do believe athletic scholarships should be granted to students. According to AthNet, an athletic scholarship is an amount of financial aid awarded to a student athlete from the college athletic department, which means that your abilities exceeded the standards of what the college was looking for and how you can contribute to the team to make it even better. Student athletes shouldn't be paid for their name because it's a privilege to be able to play an athletic sport in college. When student athletes are getting paid for their name, it completely changes the dynamic of the team and it doesn't become about the team itself, it becomes about the individual. So let's talk about where the money's going to come from. That's a huge topic. Where is the money going to come from? It's going to come from taxpayers' money. In Show Me the Money by Catherine Chris Schultz and Adam Epstein, it talks about how athletes would be considered employees of the university. So they wouldn't just be considered student athletes, they would become employers. So at 18 years old, you're coming from a different state, possibly even a different country, and you're going to be handed this document that's going to say all these different rules that you have. Plus, you're going to have to pay taxes. You're 18 years old. You've never seen a tax form before. You don't know what you're doing unless you work beforehand, which is possible. But most of the time, they don't teach you that in high school, so you really don't know. But that's a different topic. But people always bring up, well, the MLB, NBA, NFL have all this money, so how can they get paid but college athletes can't? According to Show Me the Money on page 33, it states that colleges don't travel that much to bring in enough revenue to make athletes employees of the university. If you look at all the NFL, NBA, MLB players and how many games they do play compared to college, it is a big difference. So let's look at baseball, for example. College games, there's only about 56 games in a single season that a college athlete will play. In the MLB, there's 162 games played in a single season. That's a huge money gap for how all this money will come in and how many people travel to come and see these players play. There's also this other thing called the jocks tax, and this is in Show Me the Money as well. It states that the state can tax you for where you're working, but also where your residence is. So you would be paid doubling tax because of what you do as your sport, and you're getting paid for it. So now that we have an understanding of the money, let's talk about amateurism. So according to Google, amateurism of the definition is the practicing of an activity, especially a sport, on an unpaid rather than a professional bias. That's huge in a college athletic world. People will say though, well, you're paying for someone when they're on scholarship. Yes, they aren't wrong. But the difference between a scholarship and someone getting paid for their name is that a scholarship is a set stone. This is the amount of money you're getting paid every month. Also, there's people underneath that are behind the scenes that are taking care of basically your taxes, your insurance, your doctor's appointments. You have people to take care of this. When you become an employee of the university, that doesn't go away. You have to pay for your taxes, you have to pay for your insurance, you have to pay for all these other things that would be covered under a scholarship. And should college athletes be paid? On page 3, it says that scholarships keep college athletics in the amateur world and it doesn't turn it into a union and workers' compensation. So let's say you get hurt while you're practicing, but technically if you're an employee of the university, that would be workers' compensation. So now the university would have to pay for your medical bills and things like that. Yes, on scholarship, they're technically already doing that, but you would have to set up the appointment. You would have to pay the deductible. When on scholarship, you don't have to see any of that. You don't see any bills come to you when you're on a scholarship. When you would be an employee, you would see all those bills. So it would just be completely different. And for most of it, college is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a business. College athletics is meant to bring people together. It's not supposed to separate them. And why we shouldn't pay student athletes specifically says paying college athletes will almost certainly exacerbate a problem that has been going on for generations, where athletes of certain numbers of sports are seen as even more divided from an actual student body, which is 100% true. Student athletes are completely put on a platform compared to students that you see go to regular, normal college. With my experience of college athletics, you see that. So you see the students that kind of separate from the athletes because they see that we're already on a platform. When I was going to college, we made sure that when we had our competitions, we wanted the student body to be there due to the fact that we couldn't do our sport without their support. We would be nothing. Our whole reason that we do our sport is to make sure that other people are wanted to where we wanted to go. College athletics is meant to bring people together. It's not meant to separate. And if you start bringing money into the equation, it will separate the student's body, but only the team members as well. The team is a really important aspect to athletics. If you're starting to have separation between your team, how are you supposed to succeed and play against other people that are so knit tight and that aren't being paid for their name? I mean, it just starts to become people that have big heads and things like that. In college, it's meant to be humble, and you're meant to be giving back to the community and meant to be doing something for other people, not just for yourself. In conclusion, this is why I don't believe that athletes should be paid for their name, due to the fact of taxes, amateurism, and it's college. Yes, I still believe that scholarships should be granted, and yes, people will come to your university because of the bigger name people that you have, but that's what donors are for, is to upgrade your facility so you can move on to bigger and better things. But at the end of the day, everybody should be a positive light to the university and be a welcome manner. It shouldn't be about money. Thank you.